Well, hello. I thought on this cold February day that it might make sense to go to Africa, where the sun is warm on our shoulders and the grassy plains spread out forever, and there on our walk we can sit for a moment under a giant baobab tree. Have any of you ever sat under a baobab tree before? No? Do you know that baobab trees are so big that if everyone in this room held hands together, we could barely stretch our arms all the way around the trunk? It's big. It's big. Well, one day, it happened that little rabbit had been walking far along the grassy plains, and that sun was so hot that he was beginning to melt under its rays, which is hard to imagine on a day like today here. But in the distance, he saw Baobab, and he thought, I'll take a rest there. And so he made his way under the tree, and being a very polite rabbit, he thought he might ask permission. And so he called up to that huge tree and said, Baobab, would you mind if I just rested here in your shade for a little while? It is so warm. I need to just take a break. And Baobab looked down on Rabbit and said, but of course, Rabbit, make yourself at home. And there Rabbit fell sound asleep. And when he awoke about an hour later, he looked down and there was a piece of fruit in his hands. He said, Tree, I think you dropped something. Would you like it back? And the tree said, no, Rabbit, you look so thirsty. That is a gift for you from my branches. Please enjoy yourself. Ooh, and he did, and it tasted so sweet, and the juices trickled down by his whiskers. And he said, before I go, Tree, I do have one more favor. Would you mind? I have this itch I can't quite reach. And Baobab said, dear Rabbit, you are a friend. Just make yourself at home. And Rabbit leaned up and, just scratched that itch against the bark of Baobab. What a great afternoon you have given me, Mr. Tree. But now I really must go because Mrs. Rabbit will be looking for me. But then Tree said something quite astounding. He said, Rabbit, before you go, would you like to actually come inside and see my heart? Your heart? Yes, my heart. And with that, the trunk of Baobab opened up, and there was a stream leading deep inside with beautiful flowers. And Rabbit began to walk inside Baobab's tree. And as he made his way down the stream past the beautiful colored flowers, he noticed that the flowers started to turn to jewels. There was sapphires and rubies and emeralds, and Rabbit was astounded by the beauty and said, Baobab, your heart is full of treasures. And Baobab said, thank you, Rabbit. Would you like to choose something to bring home? Rabbit took in all the jewels and said, well, perhaps a small golden ring I might bring to Mrs. Rabbit. I know she would really love this. Help yourself, said the tree. And so Rabbit tucked the ring deep in his pocket and headed back down the stream past the flowers and out the door just as Tree closed up. Ran fast all the way home to show Mrs. Rabbit his gift for her. She put it right on. Oh, Mr. Rabbit, it is beautiful, she said. Where did you ever get it? Well, it was a gift from Baobab. And with that, Mrs. Rabbit ran out the door, right down the path to her best friend, Mrs. Hyena, to say, Mrs. Hyena, look what Mr. Rabbit brought home for me today from Baobab. Mrs. Hyena liked the looks of that. And so, that night, when Mr. Hyena came home from his travels, she took him aside and said, tomorrow you will visit Mr. Baobab and bring home something for me. Yep, I can do that, no problem, he said, no problem. And off he went, out to the middle of the plains to find Baobab. Well, hello there, Tree.
He said, I came to visit. So I think there's some things I gotta do first, he said. So first I gotta take a snooze, okay? And then we woke up, he said, where's my fruit? Where's my fruit tree? Thanks. All right, and then I scratch. All right, I've done all my things, let me in. And with that, tree opened up, and Hyena walked down the stream, splashing his way, squishing those flowers right and left until he got to the place where there were the jewels. He pulled 2 big bags out of his pocket, and he started filling in those rubies and those sapphires and those diamonds until those bags were so heavy he could barely walk. But he turned, dragging them back down through the water to the light, which was getting smaller as he got closer, until all of a sudden it was dark in there. Hey, tree! Turn on the lights, tree. It's really dark in here. Tree, come on, tree. Turn on the lights. Tree.
Now they say in Africa that Hyena is still inside that Baobab and will be until all the people of the world remember how to take care of nature and respect it again. And maybe someday, if we all do, the tree might show his heart to us again.